Okay, let's unpack this. You are constantly being hit with information, and all that overload leads to one huge problem.
Decision fatigue?
Exactly. We're talking about burning through your limited cognitive energy before your workday even really begins.
Right. Deciding whether to hit snooze, what to wear, which tiny emotional crisis to deal with first. It's the central inefficiency of modern life. We always start the day behind.
So we take a deep dive into this viral 10-step routine. It's almost aggressively systematic. And it claims to be meticulously, quote, scientifically backed to boost your mental output, your energy, all of it.
And our mission today is to really test those claims.
This routine is designed to put your first 2 hours on complete autopilot. It's like surgically removing that decision-making friction.
We're going to look at the chemistry behind, say, the cortisol coffee thing.
Yeah, and that simple but kind of amazing psychological hack for getting yourself to exercise immediately.
And then the two big strategies that promise to make this whole thing stick forever. We're really looking for high ROI knowledge here.
This whole deep dive is built around this idea of decision conservation.
It's the idea that you have to treat your cognitive energy like a limited resource, like a battery.
Right. So what if these small, almost invisible adjustments, like, waiting on your coffee or just picking your clothes the night before, what if they could radically reduce that morning friction and just multiply your productive output?
Before most people have even opened their eyes.
We're going to step through it minute by minute and find out. We start with the non-negotiable foundation, step 1.
Waking up at 5 a.m.
And the source material claims this isn't just about gaining time, it's a hack for your mental health output.
And what's fascinating is how they frame it. It's not about being some time-optimizing robot. They cite research suggesting the discipline of waking up earlier consistently links to better psychological metrics.
Like what?
More positivity, greater optimism, a higher reported degree of life satisfaction. You're actively choosing to get ahead of the day, which gives you this subtle but really powerful feeling of control.
And the practical payoff is, you can't deny the math. If you're used to waking up at 8 a.m., switching to 5 a.m. gives you 3 extra hours of focus time every single day.
Do that for a year, and it's 1,096 extra hours.
That's insane.
Put simply, it's 36 extra days of awake, focused time annually. That's a staggering amount of time gained, enough to learn a new skill or launch a pretty big project.
Okay, but let's pause right there, because setting an alarm for 5 a.m. tomorrow is
It's just a recipe for failure for most people. I know I'd hit snooze until 7, guaranteed, and then feel terrible about it.
And that's the critical point the routine actually acknowledges. Immediate,
Overwhelming change just triggers resistance.
So what's the hack?
The advice is to focus on habit formation, not distraction. The rule is to wake up just 5 minutes earlier than you normally do. That's it.
Just 5 minutes.
Just 5. If you consistently adjust your alarm by 5 minutes every 2 or 3 days, you hit that full 1 hour gain in just 12 days.
That dramatically reduces the cognitive load of failure,
Yeah.
setting the stage for success. It's incremental.
precisely. It's about building a sequence of small, almost inevitable wins.
Okay, so let's say the 5:05 a.m. alarm goes off.
Yeah.
The routine says you have to do 2 things immediately. First, you get out of bed, quickly. No scrolling, no lingering. Second, you have to adopt an expansive body position.
Yeah, and this links directly to the psychology of confidence. There's research that shows that adopting a posture of openness and expansion, like a big, victorious stretch, it immediately signals alertness and confidence to your brain.
So you're using your physical state to influence your emotional state.
You're priming your body for energy before you even think about your to-do list.
Then comes the mandatory light signal. It's 5:10 a.m., and you have to get immediate, direct sunlight for about 10 minutes.
This is a powerful, non-negotiable step. It's all about regulating your circadian rhythm. That light hitting your retina sends a really potent signal to your brain.
Or wake-up signal.
Exactly. It basically tells your body, it's daytime, start producing melatonin. That strong signal helps you feel awake naturally, moving you off that sleep cycle baseline.
Which brings us directly to step 2, managing your internal chemistry. It's 5:15 a.m., and you drink a full glass of water on an empty stomach. Why water first, especially before coffee?
Water does a lot of things. It kickstarts your body's internal processes, helps flush toxins, clears the lymphatic system, which is crucial for your immune function. But the central tension here is what they call the coffee conflict.
Let's get into that. For generations, that immediate jolt of coffee is our cultural rite of passage into the day. So why delay it?
It comes back to your body chemistry. When you naturally wake up, your body releases cortisol.
The stress hormone.
Right, but in this context, it's the hormone that boosts your alertness and energy naturally. Research shows cortisol generally peaks about 30 to 45 minutes after you wake up.
Okay.
Now, the source claims that if you immediately introduce external caffeine, it interrupts that natural, essential cortisol cycle.
So wait, if cortisol is the stress hormone, isn't this routine basically optimizing for stress? What's the trade-off?
That is a great question. You're optimizing the natural alertness response. The trade-off is avoiding dependence. When you interrupt the cortisol process with coffee right away, your body starts to rely on the external stimulant. It suppresses its own natural system.
And that suppression leads directly to the crash later, that 10 or 11 a.m. energy slump.
Exactly. Because you bypass your body's built-in, sustainable alertness cycle.
So, by delaying coffee and hydrating with water, you let your body deliver its own natural energy first. You maximize its own cycle, and then you introduce caffeine later when your cortisol naturally starts to dip.
You get 2 peaks, not 1 crash. You're optimizing the chemistry before you add the stimulant.
Okay. So now for what has to be the single hardest task in the whole routine, which the source mandates at 5:30 a.m.
Exercise.
The source insists on a morning workout because physical exertion forces the body to produce more mitochondria in your muscle cells.
Right, mitochondria, they're the powerhouses of the cell. They're like little cellular batteries. And morning exertion forces your body to create more of these energy factories.
So you're literally filling your body with the energy you need for the day.
You are.
That makes the why really clear. But the psychological resistance, I mean, starting a demanding physical task that early is enormous. This is where the routine introduces its most brilliant hack.
To eliminate that mental friction.
And the hack is just utterly simple.
Sleeping in your gym clothes.
It sounds so simple. I actually tried this once, and I just woke up in wrinkled clothes and spent 10 minutes debating if they were even clean enough to wear to a gym.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that sense of inevitability?
Well, it's pure psychological engineering. Studies have shown over and over that external things, like specific clothes, can influence your mood and your motivation.
Right.
By eliminating the high-friction decision of finding and putting on workout gear, the act of exercising just becomes the default setting. Your brain doesn't register going to the gym as a distinct high-energy decision because you're already dressed for it.
You've reduced the mental barrier to almost zero. The decision is already made. You've, eaten the frog.
Yeah.
You've front-loaded the hard work.
And the psychological momentum you gain from completing that workout by 6:00 a.m. is massive. Once that hurdle is cleared, the rest of the routine is just about maintaining that momentum with small, reinforcing wins.
So we move to the shower and grooming at 6 a.m. The source has a really specific claim here, warning against using products in plastic bottles with BPA.
Yes, the source raises concerns about chemicals that act as endocrine disruptors. I mean, the focus on some of the obscure chemicals is maybe a bit technical, a bit debatable, but the high-level insight is critical.
It is.
The routine demands you become hyper-aware of your physical inputs. The larger point is about minimizing exposure to anything that could potentially interfere with your natural hormonal balance, being deliberate with everything that touches your skin.
Right. After the self-care routine, it's 6:10 a.m. and we hit step 5, the simplest win. Making the bed.
And this is pure effective motivation science.
Yeah.
Every single completed task in this routine, getting up, drinking water, the workout, now making the bed, it rewards your brain with a small dopamine hit.
So you're literally building positive momentum with chemistry.
You're earning that tiny burst of satisfaction, which increases your motivation for the very next step.
Which by 6:15 a.m. is fueling your productivity with breakfast. Step 6. And the source is absolutely uncompromising on the quality of fuel you need.
And this is where so many morning routines just fall apart. The source insists breakfast has to focus intensely on fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Things like whole wheat bread with avocado and eggs.
A blend that sustains your blood sugar.
Exactly. And they aggressively label common American breakfast foods, pancakes, bagels, sugary cereal, orange juice, as nothing more than a giant dessert.
Because those refined carbs cause a massive sugar spike, and then
An inevitable crash. It undermines all the momentum you just built. The suggested alternative for people short on time or focused on metabolic health is intermittent fasting.
which they note has links in some studies to prolonged life and weight loss.
Right. So by 6:30 a.m., you're on step 7, getting dressed. Even if you work from home, the rule is to put on clothes that make you feel capable and motivated.
The external affects the internal. Staying in sleepy clothes reduces your cognitive sharpness.
To simplify this, and this ties back to our core principle of decision conservation, the routine advocates for daily uniforms. Think of people like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg.
They eliminate the decision of what to wear.
Exactly. They choose a few pre-selected outfits, a look that always works, like a specific cut of jeans, a black t-shirt, white sneakers. You save brain power for the higher stakes tasks.
Which brings us to the final, crucial strategies. By 6:40 a.m., you've done an hour and 40 minutes of structured, high ROI activity. The source claims that you have already achieved more than 99% of the world.
And these final steps are designed to make sure you can stick to this routine permanently.
Strategy number 1 is the intellectual framework for this entire deep dive.
Conserve decision-making power. The principle is all efficiency. You remove as many choices as you possibly can so the routine runs on absolute autopilot.
And the rationale is worth saying again. Your brain has a finite amount of decision-making power each day. You just cannot afford to waste that limited cognitive energy on mundane morning choices.
You automate the trivial to save energy for the essential. And that saved energy is then deployed to strategy 2, the 3-task to-do list, which you create at 6:40 a.m. This is where the rubber meets the road.
The rule isn't just to jot down random tasks, but to focus intensely on the top 3 things that give you the highest return on your time and investment, your highest ROI.
And here is the adherence hack, the ultimate mandatory rule.
You cannot go to sleep until those top 3 tasks are completed, every single day.
It's a powerful accountability mechanism. If you've invested all that energy and momentum into your morning, the psychological cost of abandoning your 3 key objectives becomes too high to even consider.
The final promise of the routine is really profound motivation in itself. Maintain this for just 1 month, and the source claims you will see measurable effects on your productivity, your sense of control, your mental health, your confidence.
So what does this all mean? This 10-step process, it relies on some specific scientific claims. Optimizing cortisol, leveraging mitochondria, seeking light cues. But the true genius is in the relentless psychological engineering.
The goal is friction reduction.
Yes, making the right choices the path of least resistance. Sleeping in your gym clothes isn't just about convenience. It's about tricking your brain into seeing the hardest task as inevitable.
So by 6:40 a.m., the routine claims you've already won the day. It isn't just a time management schedule, it's a strategy for psychological control and for maximizing momentum.
The entire structure meticulously removes mental friction to conserve that limited decision power. So if we treat our daily decisions like a limited energy reserve, and we've just learned how beneficial it is to switch your morning from choice to autopilot.
We'll leave you with this provocative thought. Where else in your life might you benefit from switching from choice to autopilot?
Consider what complex repeating areas of your day, whether that's automating meal prep, designing a standard template for your emails, or planning your financial review, could be pre-decided to free up your finite cognitive power for those true highest return tasks. The power of pre-decision extends far beyond the morning hours.